who do we got for today? Division 5. We have taking our top seed, Metal Jello. Just below that, Thunderhawk Zoe. Then we got Soluble Apollo for the Red Alliance on this first game, our top 3 seeds. And our bottom 3 seeds of Puzzle, Cone, and Krago 4329. Although Krago is just being represented as 4329. So have to remember that, perhaps. But yeah, how do we think this one's going to pan out? We've got multiple competitors from a higher division here. I think Metal, Zoe, Apollo, and Puzzle have been to Division 4. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not
just the
sure.
top 3.
Could be.
I know the top 3 definitely have. Apollo, unfortunately, suffering a demotion.
Yes.
Not really of his own fault there, just whack stuff going on. Jello not showing up for one of the weeks, unfortunately. Timing's not working out. And Zoe, I forget exactly what
I think
happened,
they
but
also
Zoe's
had
here
a
now.
no-show as well, so
And there you go.
I think you're
Show up to
probably
your
right.
divisions, everyone. Although sometimes timing just doesn't work out. But the timing works today! So we're going to see a full division once more. Great to see 2 full divisions. If you're the Blue Alliance, though, you're perhaps not feeling the best so far. Right as I say that, now they're feeling pretty good. So, yeah, should be exciting to see how this division offers the gameplay. It'll be interesting to see if we see much defense. Oh, Zoe already hitting a record pace on the reset button. 2 red bounce outs. We'll have to see what was going on there. I presume Zoe may have gotten stuck in the lower hub exit. I think that can easily grab a shooter if they're
Yep.
not careful. Krago playing some defense on
Oh,
Cone.
look at all those red
Long
balls coming in.
target. Yep. Looks like we had a low goal somewhere. Thanks, Cone. Cone contributing to himself there, as we all know. And yeah, this game, again, very close. A couple red bounce outs there, but they still score most of it, and that's going to give them a pretty good lead. Apollo coming very close to Puzzle on the wall there. Launch pad, sorry. But manages to avoid it. We're seeing a lot of tussles here and there, but I think overall the biggest difference I'm seeing so far is not much defense. We don't have a Javon or Rob of this division, essentially. So it's just a lot of offense, bumps here and there, but it's mostly just people trying to score as fast as possible. So we're going to see some very high scores, I think, in this division.
Yep, I agree.
Comparatively.
And Blues kind of brought their way back into this match a little bit after being down for most of it.
Yep. And right
Couple
as I'm saying, not much
misses.
defense.
Yeah.
Jello does some good and does some bad. Manages to dislodge, I believe it was Puzzle for a moment there. Unfortunately, misses
Oh,
both of his shots. Zoe gets
possession.
a
Oh,
possession
that's a.
and another reset. Oh,
I
uh-oh.
that one I would say is pretty confidently not legal.
Yeah.
Um.
You're, so rough. You know, you're already behind again. Looking at Krago. Krago has 2 red balls in the intake. It's going to need to be a little careful, but is up. No red robots up yet. Zoe's very close. Zoe's up. Apollo drops. We've
Oh
already
no.
seen our first drop. And as
Double
time
traversal for blue.
expires, we see a double traversal in our first 200 of the night. Cone coming out on top with a 78 there contribution, but I believe we will likely have a ref review on that one for those couple of resets going
Resets,
on
yeah.
there. Yeah. We saw 2 of them, one very early on. I didn't quite catch what happened, but from the angle it looked like Zoe reset from might have been getting caught on the lower hub exit. But the second one looked very, very odd. So our ref will get on that.
Yeah, taking a quick look, it will be 1 tech foul assigned to the Red Alliance for Zoe illegally resetting towards the end of the match.
Would that be for the blue lines because of the red alliance? I think.
Yeah, like it +8 on the blue score.
Gotcha. So yep, unfortunately, I assume it was that second reset there was the doomed reset. So yeah, that's an example there of kind of like the Perhaps I forget we saw a too early of a reset earlier. I think we did, but that is definitely an example of pulling the trigger too fast on the reset button.
Yep, absolutely. All right, looks like we are good to go for match number 2.
Woohoo! We are seeing Puzzle and Apollo switching sides here. We'll see how much of a difference that makes, switching up our 3rd and 4th seeds to the other side. Blue is going to sink 2 in. All the balls going straight in. Can't even begin to count everything. Although I can count 1 red bounce out, which is highly unfortunate. And it looks like we might have had a, perhaps a low hub shot? No, I think I'm just counting points wrong. I think, math is hard, Speaking of math is hard, 2 and 3 are pretty close to each other, and Zoe learning the hard way what the difference between 2 and 3 is, as both of his balls also collide into each other and neither goes in the hub. That is just, if you're Zoe in that moment, you're not feeling too good. Getting a holding foul, losing one of the balls out of your 3 cycle, and then both going out. But yeah, I was about to say, they're still in it, and unfortunately, Blue is definitely taking full advantage of that. Another red bounce out, unfortunately. Another red ball going wide, and another bounce out. This is just one of those games you look at, and you're just like, well, this is just kind of unfortunate. They're not totally out of it, but this is definitely not looking so great for them. They're going to need some miracles to really pull this game off here. As 6 blue balls go into the hub, 6 blue balls stay in the hub. That's going to widen the gap more. And oh my goodness, so close to the launch pad there, but somehow no red robot gets tangled up there. As we see
Wow.
a 4 blue ball cycle there, courtesy of, I believe that was Cone, our resident Cone, sinking 4 balls in, and that's going to widen the lead even more. I think that was Krago with a 3 ball as well. And we're getting down close to the end game here. Blue is running away with this game so rapidly, and it's gone from needing a miracle to needing 2 miracles, I would say, for the
Yeah,
Red Alliance.
giant lead here for Blue Alliance for sure.
Krago's going to go for an early climb. Good decision making here. Secure that win, right? Don't throw your climbs. Looks like it was good as well, having a few difficulties. 4 robots going up. Krago's looking for it, just as Metal Jello is also looking for it, but neither of them are finding what
Oh,
they want. Metal Jello falling off, Puzzle's up, Cone's up, and Krago's going to get back up, and Zoe also getting up on the Red Alliance just to score a few more points. But that's going to be the end of that match, and it is very much in Blue's favor. That was actually, surprisingly enough, between the 2 games, these are about the same point margins.
yeah, Blue Alliance showing huge strength early on.
Look at that teleop score. Oh my goodness. And the cargo. That's 17, if my eyes are not deceiving me, 17 cargo difference. That is a massive lead.
Yeah. Both
And the
Apollo
penalty.
and Cone
Oh,
outscoring the highest member of the Red Alliance, so that makes a huge difference.
for sure. And it's quite interesting. Switching up one member of each alliance. And you would think, it's like, oh, Blue Alliance just ran away with that first game. So, you give Puzzle over to the other alliance, Apollo to Blue, and it's like, oh, like Red might win this one. The gap was exactly the same, or almost exactly the same, just lower overall points, So, the 2 remaining members of the Blue Alliance saying it don't matter who we got for the 3rd person, we're still going to score high. And I believe Jello and Zoe, unfortunately, 2 of our Division 4, our former Division 4 players, are in the hot seat already. But again, we are only 2 matches in. Plenty of time left for things to change.
Cruising right along here for some of the members of Division 5 that need to be getting things on. Going to start match
Chop,
number
chop,
3
chop.
here.
I believe looking. Oh, match has started. I'm blind. Don't mind me. Let's get back to the match.
Bit of a jam. It is able to figure itself out.
Even points, right as I say that, Blue gets 1 more in, Red gets 1 in, but unfortunately too little too late, and that's going to be a 2 oh, sorry, not a 2-point lead, even. score changes so rapidly in this game. Like, because of the way that the balls are processed in the hub, and like sometimes the ball will instantly process, and other times it takes them a while because of the agitator and balls colliding into each other. The scores can be very, very deceptive. So you kind of have to like keep that in mind at all times. Speaking of which, we got yet another low hub shot here. We're only 3 matches in, and we've already had 2 low hubs.
Looks like this time it's from Apollo.
Thank you, Apollo. Perhaps not thank you, Apollo. It looks like he might have been the culprit of missing 2 blue shots there. One going left and right. One going left and one going right. Sorry. And neither quite finding the middle mark. You want the balls to go straight in the middle. You do not want them to go left or right. Although a little bit of left or right can help. Perhaps not in Jello's case, though, as one ball bounces out off of each other. Ton of blue balls making it
So
in there. This is
close.
just non-stop action. You know, you try
Basically
and
just
breathe for a
1
moment,
point
and it's just,
match.
yeah. We see a music tone coming up on the screen
Yeah,
there.
I'm
We have
sure I know
some
what that's
Cone
from.
spams.
Yeah.
Cone's Cone's Alliance is definitely on top here. Puzzle running into a few
Oh, this
issues,
is
though.
dangerous for
Really
Apollo.
doesn't want that
There
red
we
ball.
go.
Apollo gets the foul there, but, you know, you're glad you dodged the free traversal. That is much,
True,
much
true, true.
worse. But it's still not looking good, that's for sure.
Ooh.
Puzzle is being blocked by Apollo, unfortunately, but
1
this
point
match is
game.
very close. Although Krago's already up, so the points are a little deceiving. Apollo is going to try and even this up. It's
It's
going
going to
for, I
come down to
think that might be a
climbs.
3 ball.
Cone up.
Apollo's
Oh,
going for
puzzle.
1, 2. Jello's not up. Jello's not up. Apollo's going to try and do a last-second climb, and
Thunderhawk.
that might make the difference.
4
But
points.
not quite. Oh, puzzle going sideways, and that's going to spell their doom. That 5-point difference. Well, 4 points between the lines, but 5 points from that sideways climb being lost.
Yeah.
That's the difference maker. This is our first proper close match of this division, and you can see it came down to the wire. Slight auto advantage for blue, but red had an edge in teleop, and it just blue barely getting a higher endgame score, but ended up not mattering. It actually looks like Zoe's climb may not have counted based on that endgame, so
Yeah, it looks like it
it looks
didn't.
like 2 failed climbs there. And looks like our resident Cone is currently on top, 3-0. Krago being 2-1, and we have 4 1-2 players already. Krago and Cone showing up on top so far, although Krago did play with Cone the first 2 matches, so perhaps you could say that Cone was lifting Krago in those matches, but time will tell as we get into match number 4. And I need a quick bout of water.
Absolutely. All right, match number 4, Cone, undefeated
Stay
player,
hydrated, everybody.
back on blue this time around.
Look at all those shots in the hub. Beautiful. Blue is much happier with that than red, though. As it's going
Yeah.
to be a
I
12-point lead,
don't know
evened
what
out to an
happened.
8-point lead. Oh, man. 4-player tangle up. 5 players is stuck on that side of the field. You don't want to see that for the blue line since you had one more member committed. But, you know, they make up to it. Puzzle not trusting that he wouldn't shoot that red ball and decides to spend a little time making sure he was not holding on to that red ball. And, you know, I think that's fair. Sometimes, even when you think you're not going to shoot that third red ball, lag holding on the trigger like a little too long, and that red ball
Oh,
goes in, and it's
great,
rough. And
great,
speaking of rough,
great pick there from Puzzle, but Metal Jello negates that
answers
completely.
back.
Yeah,
And then Puzzle
yeah.
answers back again.
The no use going back and forth between Puzzle and Metal Jello, but gotta say it's firmly in the grasp right now of the Blue Alliance. Score
Absolutely.
dominantly in their favor.
The auto period just coming out on top for them. It helps a lot, you know. Winning the auto period does not necessarily spell a victory, but it helps your chances a lot. Each ball that you manage to score that
Oh,
counts is an extra 2 points worth of cargo. So And Jello's going to fire a very nice 3-ball barrage there on the tarmac. Nobody interrupting. Jello, though, is going to need to get rid of one of the balls there. Did manage to get rid of. Cannot find a place to shoot. Tries tagging Apollo, but does not quite get it. Wanted to get a foul back, but perhaps should have been more focused on trying to find a place to score because Blue is widely ahead, and we're
Yeah,
seeing yet
30
another
points.
game. This is now our...
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
we
no.
didn't quite miss this
Oh.
time, but Krago, in an absolutely disastrous maneuver, did not check the clock, just like
Apollo.
us. Apollo
What the?
going wide as well. Oh my goodness. Apollo's
Any
going up.
insult to
Apollo,
injury? Is he going to lock
is
it
going
in?
sideways. Is going to
Recover?
try and get up.
Back down? Fall
Oh,
off?
nope.
Back
Let's
up?
go.
No! Back down?
Please. Come
Come on,
on. You got this,
Apollo.
Apollo.
Hi!
Okay.
Did that count? I think that
Got the
counted.
mid-run.
I think that counted. Yeah.
The mid-run counted, and unfortunately, Jello and Zoe make it up, but Krago's mistake, while this match was already likely going to go in Blue's favor, it just
Wow.
completely solidified the end of that game. Look at the cargo difference, but arguably you can say that the cargo difference got exacerbated by the free traversals because 2 of the robots could just keep cycling and not
Yeah.
care. Meanwhile, Apollo having a few issues being alone on the bar, needed a teammate around, perhaps to climb effectively. You know, it does get lonely climbing by yourself. Having a teammate nearby helps, you know. I totally understand. So, absolute blowout of a match, that's for sure, even without those traversals. But
Yep.
it really sucks if you're the Red Alliance because that's a huge amount of points to Blue, and when it comes to tiebreakers,
That's going to hurt later on down the line.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna hurt, especially giving over those tiebreaker points as Krago trying to fight for that top spot versus Cone. You're not feeling too good.
Yeah.
It's like huge. That is like 70, almost 70-point swing there. I think it's actually 64 if I'm counting correctly, barring anything else going on here.
Yeah. We'll just wait for the referee to confirm the scores in the sheet.
Yep.
But yeah, wow, wild match.
Let's see what the point margins look like. And look at that.
Yeah.
Even Apollo and Puzzle going to 2-2, thankfully. Cone once again coming out on top with that, but that's a 40-point gap now between Cone and everyone else, on top of the 4-0 record. So Cone is really trying to take this division by force.
Yeah, Cone also nearly swept D6 last week. He had an unfortunate loss at the end.
Zoe, be careful. Zoe's going to have a
Uh,
very slow barrage, and one of them bounces out. Unfortunately, picked up a 3rd red ball and had to be very careful because if you score an extra red ball during the auto period, it is twice as disastrous
as
as a
normal.
teleop
Yep.
accidental. And Zoe once again has a red ball that should not be there. It's having some struggles. But it's starting to get back into the swing of things. Score is very even here. Definitely the most even we've seen in a while, I think.
Yep.
Red is starting to pull ahead a little bit, but Blue answers back with a couple more of their own. Then Red answers back. Puzzle with a 3-ball cycle is really trying to secure this game. Blue answering back, and it is now dead even.
Oh, 2
And
misses
2
from Red.
bounce outs.
Yeah.
Rough. That would have secured them the lead there. Okay, but then they fire 5 more in. Zoe getting a holding foul. This is just not Zoe's match. That is for sure. But, you know, a match lasts 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You can still make
Oh
up for your
no! What
mistakes.
was
Just
that?
as I say that, Zoe commits
Oh
another
man.
one. Oh no, I need to stop talking. How many times have we seen this one before? And surprisingly enough, Red is not that far ahead. Puzzle getting a 2-ball barrage knocked off target, courtesy of, I think that was Krago on the defense there. We're down to almost the 50-second mark. We got another tone in the chat. Right as we have a tone in the chat, Cone just shoots 2 balls way off target. Perhaps a few too many tones in the chat. You know, tone it down a little bit, guys.
Not looking great for Blue Alliance here. They need to kind of bring this back. They are trying.
Yep. And 30 seconds left. Oh no, Apollo!
Oh,
Apollo!
no!
Oh,
Not again!
no!
Not again!
Red Alliance disaster. Cone coming up huge to hold Apollo there by the end, the hanger zone. Do not be near the hanger zone. When it starts getting down to like 40 seconds, you need to be so aware. And Apollo is not learning from the mistakes of the climb as well. You
Yeah.
cannot have that much swing on your
The
climb.
climb's
You are
looking a little
asking to fall
sketchy
off.
for blue. It's going to be close
Ooh, this
still.
is still
Fall.
so
Oh,
close.
that's a fall. That might
Apollo's
be
up,
it.
Puzzle's up,
Oh,
and
no.
somehow Krago falls off or just could not find purchase on the bar, and it actually goes to the Red Alliance despite Cone's incredible
Man,
93
Cone did
points.
everything he could there, and it
Oh,
still is not
no.
enough.
We had too many tones. What did I say, guys? Tone it down. Too many tones. A few too much here. Wow. What a crazy match that was.
Yeah.
I thought it was done for as soon as Cone got that free traversal. It's like, oh, this is Blue's game, and I didn't even notice Krago not making it up. I was too fixated on Apollo, seeing if he could actually find the traversal, and he managed, and not falling off was the difference maker this time around.
Wow.
If you're Cone, you just kind of look at that, and you're just like, well,
I played my
I'm lucky, I
best.
guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much you can do. But
Still holds the top of the division, but
yep.
no longer can sweep the division, and it's very close. But this is why we don't see a division sweep very often, even for the absolute best players of this game. Even when they've dropped down into like Adam going into Division 2. Granted, Adam did do a little bit of trolling, of course, but even then, it's not the easiest to clean sweep unless you are just that far ahead of your opponents. Like,
Yep.
you have to be so far ahead that you're putting up like 90s every match kind of deal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this game is just definitely not conducive to like carry performances. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
much
team
more about the
effort, that's for
teamwork.
sure.
Yep.
And speaking of teamwork, we are going to see some exceptional teamwork all around as the hub very nearly jams, but only clogs temporarily. We're going to see every ball returning. Even score. Red decides, nope, we're not going to keep that even, and gets one more sneaky ball in. But then Blue answers back with a lot more. Red answers back a couple more from Red again, 3 more, and it's going to be Red's advantage for now.
Yeah, good cycling from
You
both teams
see
out of
Apollo.
auto.
Ooh, Apollo, please be careful. We've seen this before. Do not get stuck on that launch pad or the hanger in the ending, you know. But yeah, this is going to be pretty even. Balls are flying everywhere as per usual, as we've seen in these matches so far. And Red is still ahead, but Blue's going to fire 4 more in. 1 goes wide from Krago. This is very, very close, but Red Alliance is currently in the lead. They get another 2-point lead from what I saw. 3 balls in to Blues 2. Krago knocks a ball away,
Oh,
unfortunately, but
2 misses
2
from
bounce
Cone.
outs from Cone. Not how you want to see things go.
Yeah, not
They've
even
got more
bounce
than a
outs,
minute
just
left. Just
misaligned
miss.
there. Yeah.
Yep. But Red, right as we say that, though, Red is actually way ahead. Cone,
Oh.
again, 2 more off target, but nudges Krago off and gets another 2
Zoe's got to
balls
shoot
fired
quick.
out of the field.
Does get it.
Zoe gets a 3-ball barrage, doesn't mess it up this time. Good job to you.
Still only
2
about
more
10
Red in there.
points.
And we are getting very close to the end game. Apollo, please be careful. This is way too close for my
Yeah.
comfort here. My anxiety levels are going through the roof. Puzzle also needs to be careful, but thankfully starts driving away, and we are now in the
Oh,
end game.
good bump
Cone,
there.
another 2 shots off balance, but this time instead of simply misaligning, does get nudged. Apollo is trying to get to those 2 balls, but doesn't want to knock Cone over.
All right, climb's
Um,
coming in now.
Another
Krago
1 from
already up.
Apollo. Yep, Apollo realizes it's time to just cycle. Same with Puzzle. They're both trying to cycle. Apollo's going for it. Apollo is going to go for the climb. They are very much in the lead suddenly. This game just really blew open for them. And as time expires, Puzzle
Oh.
does a few sad spins despite being the match MVP with no climb.
Yeah,
Just
that's really
wasn't
impressive.
enough. Oh man,
Unfortunately,
look at that end game score for the Blue Alliance. They were
10.
outscored on every front here,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Krago just appears to not have had a optimal match, shall we say. And I think, how's that going to look for our standings? Krago is a little dangerously close here, but surprisingly, Thunderhawk Zoe in last here has a very, very wide point margin between everyone else. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You don't see that too often this early on. I've seen divisions end with almost a 200-point difference between first and last, but we're only 6 matches in, I believe. Yeah,
Yep.
6 matches in. So, if there's a time to step up, it's now. So,
Yeah, that last
Apollo, though.
match,
Oh,
Jello fell off the traversal at the end, and then Thunderhawk Zoe, while
mm,
they were on the high bar, their climber was touching the truss,
ooh,
uh,
didn't quite
which
count.
did, yeah, basically made that not count. So that's a little
Although I
unfortunate.
think that only applies to the pre-release, right? I I don't think it's quite
Uh,
out yet that the trust invalidates climbs.
I
It might have been
th-
touching something
it's
else, though.
the pre-release changed some parts of the
Okay.
truss, I think. I could be incorrect on that though.
Something went wrong. We can definitely leave it
Yes.
at
So both of
that.
them were
The
definitely
end
on the
game
high, or
score,
at least like sort of on the high. But
and they only had 10 points, so something obviously went wrong. The
yep.
end game score does not lie. And speaking of, I was going to segue that into something, but there's not really a not lying into match 7. Instead, I'm just going to say, let's get into match 7 and just, forget about that. Thunderhawk Zoe having a few issues with that red ball again. That red ball seems to be his bane, and he just chucks it out of the field. Be gone. And this is very even. Only 2 points separating the two alliances. And right as I say that, red answers, and then blue is like, nope, that's ours now. And then red's like, nope. The fun of this game. It's just a back and forth
Yep.
constantly.
Oh, Jello stuck on cone.
Ooh, we got two robots stuck together here, Metal Gel and Cone, as mentioned. But they managed to unstick, and Cone's going to go for 2 more balls. A ton of blue balls sinking in there. Jello with a 3 ball to answer back. And this is currently in Red's favor. We're seeing a lot of blue robots getting tangled with each other, and that's not really what you want to see. Zoe's going to go for a very safe 2-ball cycle. Good decision making there. If someone sees you with 3 balls, they will hunt you down.
Yep.
And speaking of 3 balls, Zoe has, oh no, did not realize fast enough that there was a red ball in that
Oh
intake, and that's going
no.
to give an extra 2 points to the Red Alliance. Not what
Look,
you want to see
looking
after
good
already
here for
being
red.
behind. Yep, and this
And
is
another
not good for
miss.
Cone. Cone is playing against Apollo in this match, and these two are fighting for the top spot currently. So if you're Cone, you really don't want to be seeing this, but Thunderhawk Zoe's like, this trust looks like a good hug here. It needs a
Yeah.
hug. And that's going to slow down their cycle times a little more,
Uh,
unfortunately.
red really breaking out now.
Yeah,
Now at this
this
point,
game
it's
just
it's a
exploded.
bit
2
of
more blue
a
misses.
you
Oh,
know damage
no.
reduction exercise at this point for the Blue Alliance, you'd have to say. So trying to get
Yep.
that tiebreaker, colliding
Oh,
with
my
Thunderhawks.
goodness.
They're stuck together. Oh my.
Thunderhawk Zoe is playing for the
Okay.
wrong team and takes a reset. I think Zoe has forgotten what color they are.
Yeah,
Little
it's
rough, that's for
unfortunate.
sure.
Look at
It's
this
gonna
giant
try and
lead
run
for red.
interference, but too little, too late. That's for
For
sure,
for
and
red, you
is
just want to
going to
see
keep
solid
cycling.
climbs. However, both of them look like they're a little bit crooked. Cone's gonna go up. Puzzle also up. So that's good damage
Paula's gonna
limitation.
go for the last thing.
Fall.
Oh, Krago
Maybe
falls,
another
but their
fall.
point margin is
Nope.
so high that even with a fall, a failed traversal, it just didn't matter. There was too much of a point margin. Look at the teleop score.
Wow.
Wow. That has to be the biggest gap I've seen, like almost the entire, if not the entire tournament.
Yep.
Or more specifically, all 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure that is the biggest teleop margin I've seen. That is what is that, 44-point margin in teleop. That's disastrous for the Blue Alliance.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to the miscommunications and errors within the Blue Alliance. Not even anything that Red Alliance necessarily did that was like, super strong or whatever.
They just kept cycling. That's about
Yeah.
it. Nobody really stopped them. And unfortunately, Zoe, you know, a rough match. That is definitely for sure. Just a platitude of things is going wrong. A red ball in, a hug on the truss, bumper grabbing your own teammate.
Yeah.
When games like that happen, you just sit there and you're like, oh, this is just unfortunate. You can't really get too upset about it. It's just like, it happens. It happens to the best of us, as I will always say.
That was an insane shot, by the way, just now from Krago. Somebody should clip that. They bounced the shot off
Right.
the
Ooh,
like
I missed that.
exit, and then it went into the high goal. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, that is a good note, by the way. Red Alliance didn't. Apollo's climb did not count. That was a single high climb, put them almost over 200. They just
Yeah.
had that much of an advantage.
All right, looks like we're good to go.
All right, what are we in here? Match 8, I believe. Yes, and currently for the standings, Cone and Apollo are tied. But for this match, they are actually playing
Oh,
against each other. I was
Jello
going to
forgot
say
to turn on
together,
his
but
intake.
uh-oh.
Recovers well though.
Fires a blue ball off into the void. It looks like a blue ball might have bounced out, and they are very close coming out of auto. 4-point lead for the Red Alliance here. Blue is going to sort of answer back. Looks like they're going to get one extra ball over red. Oh my goodness, that's more than one extra. That's 5 extra. And that's going to give them the lead for now. Puzzle answers back, though. Another shots going in from both sides. This is some really good stuff so far from both alliances. This is a lot more action-packed. Zoe's definitely recovering from that last game, which is always good to see. You can't let it get to you. Just on to the next game and do what you can. And, they're currently in the lead.
Yeah, doing a
And right
great
as I
job.
say that, they are no longer in the lead. I'm sorry. So,
It's
and
really
as soon as
close.
I apologize, they're back in the lead. That's all right. Everything I say just we've confirmed it's opposite. So maybe I should start talking in opposites. Like I see it, but I just speak opposite, so that I'm right
Not
instead of
gonna jinx
wrong.
something. Yeah.
Or maybe it'll anti-curse it. I don't know. That'd be a fun theory to try out, but not one that I particularly feel like expending the mental energy for. Speaking of
I don't know
mental
what happened,
energy,
but Blue
it's
really
very high for the Blue
ahead
Alliance.
here. Yeah.
Another 2 shots in. Looks like Krago is looking for another 2 shots in. I really want to see some of these players being a little more flexible if possible with their shooting locations. One of the great things about FRC Shooter is you can adjust on the fly where you're shooting from. You can shoot tarmac or fender. If you're suffering defense, you just park up against that fender. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of players that will,
Oh, two
unfortunately, Cone hitting a
two
2 miss
misses.
here.
Yeah. They were starting to come
And
back as well, but
actually, speaking after my ramble here, I've been rambling for so long that it's actually in the end game here, and we only have a couple seconds left in this match. Zoe has
it's
gone
got to be
slightly
climbs. It's
sideways. The
close.
hood angle,
Red's ahead.
Zoe's hood
1
angle is way
point.
too high.
1 point. Okay, Red's ahead
Oh,
now.
they're going up.
Wait, no
Apollo's
back.
going up.
Wait, what's
They're
happening?
up.
Oh my.
Oh no! Another
Wow.
anger disaster. Apollo and Zoe barely getting up. Zoe getting the traversal just to show off. Wow. That's a big swing on the rankings. Cone
Cone
suddenly
gonna
has
drop
been
down.
dethroned
Yep.
by Apollo. Apollo really wants to get back into Division 4 after that very unfortunate demotion. I forget if it was last week or the week. I think it was the week
2
before
weeks
last
before. Yep.
week's. Yeah, week 2's unfortunate demotion. Wants to easily secure a championship spot. Let's see here. Apollo as well making a statement on that with the high point contribution of 84.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't speak to everything, but that was a very close game up until those climbs fell apart. You can see the points were pretty much even coming out of Auto and Teleop. Only a slight advantage for Blue, but the climbs just fell apart. A game ain't over until it's over.
Yeah, and we are gonna see Cone versus Apollo for the next 2 matches. So,
Mm-mm.
It is a must-win here for Cone. If he does not win, then Apollo will be the
I believe
promoter.
you're looking at this wrong. Apollo and Cone are
Oh, sorry.
together
They're
on the ninth
together right now.
match.
Yes.
So the last match will dictate how this goes.
Yep.
Apollo needs to win to secure it. However, Cone just winning isn't good enough. Cone needs to win by
5
6
points.
points.
6 points. Yep.
The tiebreaker will go to Apollo
Apollo.
if it goes to that due to being the higher seed.
Yes.
So this match, I don't think it's too important. Probably important for demotions. Yes, Thunderhawk, Zoe, and Puzzle are the two currently in trouble, the hot seat, as you will.
Although,
And Thunderhawk, Zoe's with the two highest ranked here.
if they do lose, that could bring other players into the promotion conversation. That's for sure, though.
That is true, actually. Krago and Metal Joe on the same side at 4-4 each. If they do win, it could be a huge shift for them. Speaking of a huge shift, very narrowly somehow Thunderhawk Zoe's cycle there, it hit each other and then it just went back in. However, as karmic retribution, as we will, two blue balls then immediately miss right after.
Whoa.
And right as I say that,
Bunch
two
of
more
red
red
misses.
balls
Yeah.
going sideways. Blue's going to capitalize on that, and they are storming off to a big advantage here. Some solid defense on Zoe from Metal Jello is going to cause some problems. Although Jello needs to line up before that 3-ball cycle becomes a holding foul.
Oh, no.
Oh, Cone misses a shot courtesy of Jello and gets hit with a foul, and that's going to even this match out. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
6-point swing just like that. More like an 8-point swing, actually, because you missed the shot.
And
Is it an 8-point
the
swing? I don't know.
fouls.
Something like that. 6 or 8. I don't know.
Regardless, it's
Math's
not
hard.
good for blue.
Not optimal, as we would put it. That's for sure. And unfortunately, things have gone back to red advantage. Right as I say that, Cone with some solid defense is going to cause some problems for Puzzle there.
Three huge
Dear.
misses from Krago there.
I'm not sure what happened there. That looked very strange. I don't know if he
Yeah.
got bumped or something. Steals a ball from Puzzle. Puzzle's not going to be happy about that one. And just kind of going for it. But yeah, this is very much slipping out of Red's hands right now.
Yep.
Or intakes, if you will. Get it? I'm funny.
Yes. 30 seconds to go. Endgame
of
protection.
perhaps fun.
Apollo! Oh my goodness.
Apollo is getting shoved into a corner, is not having a good time. Please do not get another free traversal. This is not the time you want that to happen. 10 seconds left. It's very much looking like Blue's going to win this. Puzzle is trying to secure a few more shots, but
Cone
barring
very precarious.
somebody
Falls
falling.
off.
Oh no, I had to speak, didn't I? But it
Still
doesn't
not
matter
enough.
in the end. I just had to open my mouth, barring anybody falling, and Zoe just clonk right off the traversal bar into the void. So I do believe this is now just going to be a set fight between Apollo and Cone for that top spot after this match.
Yep.
Zoe's going to be very happy about this win, though. Still, unfortunately, very far behind and is basically never going to win the tiebreaker. So,
It's a. Wait.
Wow, this is very
They're
even.
tied with Puzzle, so they're together.
Oh,
So
oh
it's
no.
pretty much guaranteed, barring I don't even know what.
37-point margin on this last match in the favor of Blue will demote Jello.
So it's
Any other
doable.
outcome, I believe, demotes Zoe here.
Yep. And then Cone
And
obviously needs a
unfortunately,
win by 6 points.
6 points, and Apollo just wants a win. Or if you're going to lose, barely.
Yep, exactly. All right, looks like
So, yeah,
everybody's ready for the final match here of the night.
let's get hyped. This is the time to spam your tones. Get them out. Play all of the tones. And we are going to see match number 10 now underway. We're going to see 5 red balls before a single blue shot goes in, but then every single blue robot at the same time. We're seeing tones pop up on the screen.
Bit of a
The hub is getting a
jam.
little clogged, and I think it's going to full
We'll
jam.
see if it
Oh,
clears itself
no.
out.
Oh, wait. Oh, we're finding a little bit of purchase. A little bit.
It
Oh, my
might
goodness.
fix itself. It's fixing
Oh!
itself. It fixed.
We're
Oh
going to
my
see a
god.
lower point margin in this game, though, as those took forever to be processed. But this is why you do not stop playing until it is official that
For
hub
sure.
is not
Yep,
moving. Some
exactly.
more tones coming in. We got a lot of Cone supporters in the chat, and currently is in the lead. And a good bump from Cone is going to knock a blue ball off balance. Krago getting a little bit in Cone's way, not what you want to see. But red is currently going off to a lead. A blue bounce out there. Looks like also perhaps a red
Reset.
bounce out. Cone resetting.
Didn't
A
see
few
why.
too many tones, perhaps. But I did not quite see what happened there. Cone, wow, almost manages to get both in despite
rims.
the nice bump. But one does bounce out. Is now stuck against the wall, getting
Okay.
harassed by Puzzle there.
And it
But
is a
manages
Blue
to
Alliance
break
lead.
free, and suddenly blue is now in the lead. Cone needs to be careful as 3 balls,
triple
gets them all
cycle.
in. Some more tones coming in, and Cone perhaps getting some support there. For a brief moment, they had a lead, and not quite anymore. One of Metal Jello's shots goes not quite far enough. This is so
4
close. We are
points.
down to the 40-second mark. A bunch of blue balls find
2
their way in.
misses from Krago.
Oh no, Jello is going to perhaps there's like a garden of ambrosia
30 seconds.
over
Puzzle.
there.
Oh my god,
touching
Puzzle.
Toad.
Oh.
Oh no! Puzzle. Oh, it is just
Cone-
a disaster
It's
for
so
the
close
Blue
still
Alliance.
though. It's close. It brought red back into this. It's still not over. They need to get the
It's
climbs.
not over yet.
Blue is
Krago
ahead.
needs to keep
Krago
scoring.
needs to get as many
Apollo
points on the
needs to get this
board.
climb. Oh my goodness.
Blue's ahead
What's
by
going to
2
happen?
points. Another shot
Apollo's
coming
going
in
for
for
another cycle.
2 for
Kratos
Apollo.
going for another shot.
2
Apollo
seconds.
needs to
1
get up.
second.
1
It's
second
oh,
up.
oh
And
my
it
goodness.
goes to the Blue Lights, and sorry, I think it was that Puzzle. Yes, it was Puzzle. Drops off. Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
What a division.
Those last 30 seconds were crazy. I looked at the Blue Alliance hangar, and there was like a garden of ambrosia over there. There were like 7 red balls. And I was like, is somebody going to get tempted and get baited into a hangar? Cone finds his way over there, and nobody is there to punish. And then on the other side of the field, Puzzle accidentally gets stuck for a moment long enough to gift over a traversal, and it didn't matter. Blue just had such a cargo lead that it just did not matter. Oh my goodness.
wild event. What a wild event. And yeah, correctly pointing out Cone like maybe a second away from the traversal that he barely missed. That would have swung the match.
It would not have happened. Any comment on dodging the traversal penalty?
Yeah.
I did see a second blue robot over there, but I think
No,
we are a little.
That was 2 matches ago or whatever.
Was that? Oh, it's a few. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, that one. Yes, Brennan had words to say about that one.
Yes.
I missed it, but Brennan definitely caught that one.
That was a wild one. But yeah, congratulations to Apollo for the promotion. It was down to the wire at the end, and it makes the difference.
Welcome back to Division 4. After that unfortunate demotion, a rough last week, not quite making it up, has now gone back to Division 4. And, you know, that pretty much, that actually straight up guarantees Apollo 100% of the time will get an invite to the Ladder Championship as well.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
meanwhile, unfortunately, as we talked about, Thunderhawk Zoe here is going to fall to Division 6, but not quite out of the running yet. You know, there's still one more week to play. Everything's on the line for all players, you know, and we're going to see who, you know, ends up on top in Division 6. That'll be where my eyes are on. Divisions 5. Actually, Division 5 perhaps not as much, since even if you demote, you're still going to take the top spot in Division 6. I mostly got my eyes on 6 and 7 and potentially 8. for the upcoming week.
Yeah, it's going to really depend on how many people decline spots and how deep we have to go. But
Yep,
it's really important for everyone to try and get as many points on the board, get their win rate up, try and seed as high
exactly.
as possible in these last 2 weeks.
Do everything you can. And yeah, I believe that will do it for tonight. I do not believe we have another division.
Yep, that's all we have. That's all she wrote.
Yep, my throat is dying. I need to find something for a throat lasagna or something else. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. A throat thingy. That's what I usually call them. My poor throat. But it was fun. It was worth it, as we would say. So yeah, thank you again for having me on to co-commentate for this. This was a highly enjoyable 2 divisions. That's for sure.
Yep, for sure. And thanks everybody for tuning in. This is good to see an exciting division all the way through. Probably one of my favorite divisions so far in Ladder. Just back and forth.
100%. I
Even
believe
D6 was really good with all the ties and that kind of thing. So
Devon's defense really spiced up the division. That's for sure. Made the scores very all over the place, you know.
yeah,
So, I believe tomorrow will be one division, if I am remembering correctly. Division 8 will be coming tomorrow, barring anything going wacky. So, should be
great.
fun.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in and have a great night.